Meets tonight to discuss legal matters connected to the vacant mayor's seat. And Hollywood loses a true legend. We look back on the life and career of Robert Redford. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, community members attend a special vigil at Pitt State to remember a fallen conservative activist. Plus, the suspect in the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk makes his first court appearance. And the Carl Junction City Council meets in a closed session to discuss legal issues concerning the vacant mayor post.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some members of the community come together to remember a conservative voice that inspired a generation of young activists. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. Pittsburgh State University's Turning Point USA chapter held a Charlie Kirk tailgate vigil this evening at the PSU football stadium parking lot. The event honored Kirk, a conservative political activist and founder of Turning Point USA. Attendees brought lawn chairs and phones to light up the night during an evening of praise, worship, and remembrance. Organizers shared a positive message about continuing Kirk's legacy of political engagement and conservative activism on college campuses. Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas weighs in publicly following the death of the conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Marshall co-sponsored a resolution that condemns the killing in the strongest terms, offering condolences to Kirk's family while honoring his role as a leading voice in conservative campus activism. He also addressed the U.S. Senate floor in remarks commemorating Kirk's life.
At just 18 in 2012, he founded Turning Point USA, a movement that would transform the landscape for young conservatives, millennials, and Gen Zers alike. Through electrifying campus activism, his influential podcasts, and nationwide tours, Charlie mobilized a generation to stand firm against the shadows of big government and socialism.
Kirk was addressing an audience at an event at Utah Valley University when a gunman's bullet took his life. He was 31 years old. Tyler Robinson, the man authorities believe assassinated Charlie Kirk last week, appeared in court for the first time today. As Andres Gutierrez reports, this comes as officials are sharing new details about messages exchanged between Robinson and his roommate.
Tyler Robinson, the suspect in last week's fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, made his first court appearance on camera from the Utah County Jail Tuesday. Wearing a sleeveless smock, Robinson appeared stoic throughout the proceedings, stating only his name.
Could you state your name?
Tyler James Robinson.
I have reviewed your declaration of financial status and find that you are indigent. I'm provisionally appointing a Rule 8 qualified attorney to represent you on your case.
Robinson is charged with aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, 2 counts of witness tampering, and committing a violent offense in the presence of a child. Prosecuting attorneys confirmed Tuesday they are seeking the death penalty.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly.
Investigators are piecing together evidence, including a rifle found in a wooded area after the shooting at Utah Valley University in Orem. At a press conference Tuesday, officials read messages exchanged between Robinson and his roommate.
The roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it."
Robinson's being held without bond at the Utah County Jail. He's back in court on September 29th. Kirk's public funeral will take place Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, the home field of the Arizona Cardinals. President Trump will attend. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Hurricane, Utah.
If convicted, Robinson could face death by firing squad in the state of Utah. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Eddy joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, we got showers and thunderstorms across portions of the region earlier for us today. Also had some on Monday, so hopefully over the next few days with continued chances for thunderstorms, everybody will at least get some rain. Once we lost the heating of the day, these went kaput, so we just have a few clouds out there. Pretty quiet for us for the rest of the night. We're going to drop back mid-60s for overnight lows. Carbon copy on your Wednesday. We're going to do the exact same thing. Here's 4 p.m. afternoon hit and miss storms, and the ones that do fire could produce some heavy amounts of rain. Another batch trying to work in Thursday morning. Hit and miss storms again as we get into Thursday afternoon. All right, look at this, 94 today. Look at our average high, 82. It stays kind of hot as well. We're going to look at that and our storm chances here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, members of the Carl Junction City Council met again tonight, but this time in a closed session to discuss the vacant mayor's seat and legal matters with their attorneys. In August, after hearing intense testimonies from city employees about alleged workplace harassment, the Board of Aldermen voted to impeach Mayor Mike Moss and remove him from office. The mayor has since fought back, filing a petition for judicial review. Mayor Pro Tem Holly Levine confirmed after tonight's closed session meeting that no votes were taken during their private discussion. A statement from the city's attorney also indicates the council cannot move forward with appointing a new mayor just yet. The attorney called tonight's special meeting to fill the vacancy premature, while the impeachment process is still ongoing. Authorities in Crawford County bring charges against a mother and son following a stolen vehicle investigation. The charges stem from an incident that happened yesterday morning when authorities responded to a crash at the intersection of Locust and Jefferson in Pittsburgh. The collision involved a Ford Fusion and a Toyota 4Runner. While authorities were investigating the crash, they received a call from a person claiming their co-worker had stolen their Ford Fusion. That person identified Terrian Williams as the thief. When officers began questioning Williams about the theft, he took off on foot. The chase ended at a residence on East Adams Street where Williams began to throw heavy objects at the officers. Williams also claimed to have a gun and threatened to shoot officers. His mother, Denise Kimball Hicks, then arrived on scene and moved toward officers, yelling at them. Officers told her numerous times to stay back, but Kimball Hicks refused. They then took her into custody. Williams also refused to surrender, leading officers to deploy a taser. Once tased, Williams was taken into custody. Authorities charged Kimball Hicks with interfering with a law enforcement officer. And authorities issued multiple charges against Williams, including criminal damage to property, interference with law enforcement, and use of a deadly weapon. The city of Carthage breaks ground on a new location for a farmer's market. That story's coming up, but up first, the world says goodbye to a true giant of the silver screen. We look back on the life and legacy of Robert Redford. Tributes are pouring in for actor, director, and activist Robert Redford. The Hollywood legend died at his home in Utah at the age of 89. Jared Hill looks back at his extraordinary career, plus reaction from some of his iconic co-stars.
Robert Redford was more than the natural. He was Hollywood royalty.
What's the matter with you? I can't swim!
From the Western, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
It's down on record, Bernstein.
To the Watergate thriller All the President's Men.
Okay, so have a drink. Okay?
To The Way We Were with Barbra Streisand. The actor with the matinee idol looks was one of Hollywood's biggest stars, although he told CBS News he almost didn't get the part that launched him into superstardom. The Sundance Kid, opposite Paul Newman's Butch Cassidy.
They tried everything to keep me out of the picture because I wasn't known, compared to Paul.
Flag is up, kid.
His second pairing with Newman, 1973's con artist caper The Sting, resulted in his only Oscar nomination for acting. He did win an Oscar, not for acting, but for his directing debut, 1980's Ordinary People.
Just stop it. No, you tell her to stop it!
The drama about a family coping with loss also won Best Picture. Redford directed other notable films, including A River Runs Through It and Quiz Show. Most of Redford's projects dealt with causes close to his heart, including the environment.
Artists and art have the power to affect change.
Disillusioned with Hollywood, Redford moved to Utah, where he became a champion of independent film, establishing the Sundance Institute and Sundance Film Festival. It became a force in the industry, nurturing previously unknown filmmakers. In a post on X, Academy Award winner Marlee Matlin wrote that the Oscar-winning film Coda came to the attention of everyone because of Sundance, and Sundance happened because of Robert Redford. Redford's Out of Africa co-star Meryl Streep wrote One of the Lions Has Passed. Jane Fonda, who co-starred with Redford in Barefoot in the Park, said she can't stop crying.
May I ask you where you're going?
His last big screen role was as a villain in Avengers Endgame, introducing a whole new generation to his incomparable body of work. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Publicist for Redford said in a statement that he died at his home in Sundance, the place he loved, surrounded by those he loved. Redford was married twice and had 4 children. 2 are still surviving. Well, Doug returns next with a complete look at your forecast. And a little later, some students in Joplin get a head-to-toe medical screening thanks to some other students.
Well, it turned out to be hot for us today, all the way up into low to mid 90s for afternoon highs. And some of you, about 50% of us, got thunderstorms this afternoon. I even had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings across the region. These have all died off now, and it's going to stay pretty calm as we go through the overnight hours. Let me walk you through time. Mid 60s to start. 66, 67 degrees during the morning hours. By noon, most of us mid to upper 80s. Very similar to what we saw today as we go into the afternoon. Hit miss spotty storms again, probably 30, maybe 40% of the area. But again, any of these storms that do form could be a little bit stronger. We got some pea-sized hail with some of the storms earlier today. We could see that as well as we go into Wednesday afternoon. There is some indications some thunderstorms may try to pop up again early Thursday morning and drive through, which if this occurs, this will keep our temperatures down a little bit on Thursday, and then hit miss storms popping up again as we get into Thursday afternoon, low to mid 80s. And then another batch of thunderstorms will try to work through by Thursday night. So we're going to keep our eyes on this over the next couple days. Day planner on your Wednesday, 66 to start, 87 by noon. High temp, 91 degrees, great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex looking downtown Joplin off toward the north and to the east. Temperature is still pretty good, kind of mid 70s. It's cooled down quite a bit. Let's go into Friday night. Of course, week 3 for some areas, week 4 for other areas. A little bit cooler this week, but we may be dodging a few random storms. Kickoff near 80 by the fourth quarter, near 70 degrees. So overall, it looks pretty decent for high school football on Friday night. All right, so our scattered thunderstorms caused by this upper level wave. Watch by Friday, it ejects out, but then a stronger wave dips in as we get into late Sunday into Monday. Now, we're entering that part of the pattern or this time of the year that we enter another kind of small severe weather season. Late September, October, and November, even into early December. So these stronger systems will give us that potential to get some stronger storms across the area. All right, so let's go into Friday afternoon. Hit miss scattered thunderstorms. We could start the day on Saturday with a few ejecting out. I think Saturday afternoon right now looks okay. And then thunderstorm chances back in late Sunday. And some of these guys could be a little bit on the stronger side. So we got a lot to watch over the next several days. Potential rainfall next 6 days. A lot of areas will pick up half an inch, maybe isolated 1.5 inch amounts, which we definitely need. 91 Wednesday, 87 on Thursday, 84 on Friday, back to 90 on Sunday, and then mainly sitting through the 80s most of next week.
All right, wish it would stay in the 80s or lower. Thanks, Doug. Well, the McCune Brooks Healthcare Foundation and Here for Carthage break ground on the Colfin Family Pavilion, the future home of the Carthage Farmers Market and a new community gathering space. This morning, the community gathered to celebrate the project, which is funded through major gifts from local foundations and trust. Organizers say it'll provide a permanent venue for farmers, families, and community events.
We've just been working so hard and trying to make the right decision for the city. So seeing this happen, it just feels like a labor of love. We've really poured our heart into it. By April 1st of next year.
Well, young students become patients for a day as Joplin fifth graders help train the next generation of doctors. The students are on the campus of KCU Med in Joplin for Score 1 for Health. They're getting a full head-to-toe checkup, too. And this checkup is performed by second-year medical students and second-year dental students. The process gives them a chance to examine a live human.
They're looking for any cavities that these fifth graders have, along with any dental infections, active dental infections. And the reason that they're looking for these right now is because if there is a need, we are able to refer these fifth graders out to our oral health clinic or a dentist within the community where they are able to get the care that they need.
This is the fifth year, the Score 1 for Health screening at KCU Med in Joplin. Well, Americans could be healthier if we got rid of daylight savings time. A Stanford study found the collective loss of an hour of sleep in March is linked to more heart attacks and fatal traffic accidents in the days after we make the switch. But there are long-term effects as well. The sudden change in the amount of light exposure we get weakens the circadian clock, which also means the immune system and energy levels are impacted as well. And a new study reveals some of the hidden causes of heart attacks in adults under 65, especially women. Mayo Clinic research found more than half of heart attacks in adult women under 65 are not caused by clogged arteries, but from non-traditional causes like embolism or other heart conditions. Findings are significant because many of these non-traditional causes are often misdiagnosed. Still ahead, we have highlights from Joplin's volleyball matchup against Kickapoo, and Southeast High football has a new man leading the program, and his changes are already bringing success. We'll have the details next.
The Southeast Lancers have a new man at the helm leading the program. And while he may be new to the high school level, this coach is a familiar face to the team and community. Phil Hobbs has taken over as the head coach for the Lancers, bringing a wealth of coaching experience. During his previous 4 years as head coach of the Southeast Middle School football squad, Hobbs formed relationships with the current roster. And by having that connection and bond previously established, the Lancers feel that this transition was smooth.
Many of these guys I've known for a lot of years and coached them. I coached all of them through middle school. A lot of them I've coached in Little League, and so they're familiar with me. Coach Wheeler, my defensive coordinator, is the same way. So it's just that style that we've developed, that rapport that we've developed with them over several years. And so it really wasn't a huge transition or anything. I think they had a good idea of what our expectations were. It was a matter of just stepping in here. This is what we want to do. This is how we're going to do it, laying everything out on the line and getting in here and getting to work together. I trust them. They trust us and what we're doing.
I think it's good just because everybody's comfortable with him. He also goes out of his way to help and just make sure everybody's doing good. Just nice to see a familiar face.
The style of play stands out for this Southeast team, as the new coaching staff has made changes to their schemes. The Lancers are simplifying their playbooks, focusing on execution and limiting the stress on players.
We're going to do things as simple as possible and make those things as effective. We ran 5 plays against Fredonia the whole night. What works, we're going to stick with it, and we're not going to have a huge playbook, but we're going to have a playbook that is executable. We're going to be able to replicate week in and week out without having to add more and more every week.
I think it's great because we don't have to stress over different plays, how many plays we have, and all that. We're just able to get out here, know the few plays that we are wanting to run and everything, and we can destroy off of just those few plays because they're always going to work. No matter what, if it's a 1-yard gain, 10-yard gain, anything, they're going to work.
The Lancers return to action on Friday in their second straight road matchup, battling South Sumner. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Coming off the Hillcrest Varsity Slam Fest over the weekend, the Joplin Eagles volleyball squad back in action at home on Tuesday against Kickapoo. Eagles won their last home match a week ago over Springfield Central. Early third set, Chiefs Paisley Eaton keeping this play alive, helping set up Addison Kindman, but Peyton Cunningham says not in my house and sends it back for the Joplin point. Later in the set, off the Kickapoo serve, Eagles go on the attack, going to Cunningham in the middle, who slams this one home for the kill. The sophomore doing it all in this one. But here come the Chiefs. Now off the Joplin serve from Violet Parker, attacking on the outside with Kindman again, and her spike gets past a diving Eagle for the kill. But Joplin would keep up that pressure. Off this Chiefs serve, Eagles setting up for Aniston Murdoch, who comes through with the kill, but the Eagles fall in straight sets at home to the Chiefs. The Royals opening up a 3-game series against the Mariners tonight, and their playoff hopes continue to fall with a 12-5 loss. Michael Walker allowed 7 runs in 2 2/3 innings. But the good news for KC is that the Kansas City native Carter Jensen not only hit 1, but 2 home runs tonight, his first 2 career homers in front of the fans at Kauffman Stadium. Cardinals, they had a loss last night, looking to bounce back, and they rebounded in shutout fashion, defeating Cincinnati 3-0. Michael McGreevy tossed 7 scoreless innings, while Thomas Sajaci launched a 2-run homer in the win. Not a good night for the Royals, but I mean, it's got to be pretty cool. Growing up a Kansas City kid, Royals fan, hitting your first 2 career home runs in the stadium that you grew up going to, that's be pretty cool.
For sure. But the Eagles beat the Chiefs tonight.
Yes, a very familiar.
Or the other way around.
Well, no.
No, the Chiefs beat the Eagles tonight.
Yes, the Chiefs beat the Eagles tonight. Wish it was that way Sunday for us.
Yes.
But no, we had it
just
flipped.
dawned on me, the team names.
No, we had it flipped.
Yeah, that's a look at sports. We're back after this.
Well, it looks like pretty calm for the rest of the overnight hours for us tonight. 91 on your Wednesday, a few pop-up afternoon thunderstorms. 87 on Thursday, 84 on Friday, 90 by Sunday. But we have chances for thunderstorms each and every day, and then dipping into the mid-80s for next week.
Well, Doug, thank you. Tomorrow is Constitution Day, and the National Archives is celebrating 250 years of America's freedom. For the first time, the entire U.S. Constitution will be on display for visitors to see at the U.S. Capitol. Also on display, the original Bill of Rights and more than a dozen other constitutional amendments. The exhibit also features a rarity. It's the Constitution's 5th page that instructed states on how to implement the Constitution. Now, this document was signed by George Washington. The historic documents will be on display at the Rotunda until October 1st. The U.S. Constitution was signed on September 17th, 1787. Quick final sports note.
Final sports note, Carter Jensen, Kansas City kid, first career 2 home runs at his home stadium.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.